Hi, good morning. I'm here with Scott Pfister of Precise Systems. And first of all, I want to, congratulate you and the company for being a top veteran-friendly employer. And I'm here today to learn a little bit more about you and your organization. And I'd love to, first of all, welcome you to the U.S. Veterans Magazine. And I know you're a veteran. Also want to thank you for your service. And I'm going to, first of all, start with the first question. Are you ready to go?
I am, and thank you for the congratulations, and absolutely proud to have served.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. It's our pleasure. So you became president of Precise Systems in 2014, a time when the company was facing some challenges, yet you led it through transformation from a small business into a large enterprise. And I remember this was something that I had researched before that was pretty impressive, that even during that small time, you didn't look at it as a negative. You went ahead and you moved forward. Can you walk us through how you navigated that transition and what kind of strategies and the most pivotal things that you saw to make your company a success?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the question because, as you know, this is where many companies go to die in that transition from small to large. So I would say many things went into our successful transition. That what gives me confidence that we're going to be successful, or we were going to be successful, is the leadership team that I've surrounded myself with, and all the hard work and planning that went into the transition. So to give you a bit of background, we've been planning for this transition since 2018, even though we really didn't graduate until 2022, 2023 timeframe. We knew that it was inevitable that we were going to graduate. And so we spent every year we go off and as an executive leadership team, we spend time planning, and we typically do a 3 to 5 year forecast, depending. Now we do 3. At that time, we were doing 5 year transition planning or strategic planning. So in 2018, that year in particular, we spent most of our time planning for this transition and all of the steps that we thought it was going to take to make the transition successfully. So we laid out a plan that allowed us to sprint through that small business graduation, as opposed to crawling or limping over that line, which many companies do. And so we knew we needed to plan to continue to grow. That would include M&A activity, or mergers and acquisition. We knew we needed as much contract runway as possible, and I'll talk more about that in a second. And we knew we needed to stay grounded on the very fundamentals that made us successful as an organization when we were small. So we sought and were successfully awarded an IDIQ contract that gave us essentially a 5 year runway to compete as a small business, even though we were no longer small. And from that 2019 to 2023, we won as much work as we could on that IDIQ contract, many or multiple task orders, several $100 million of contracts. And that allowed us to build or invest in our infrastructure so we could prepare ourselves to bid as a large business. And the other part of that is we knew we needed to look at M&A activity. So that started with really what were we going to do with Precise? And I was still fairly young, still am fairly young in the game, and but we knew that we needed to do something to help us on the M&A front. So in 2022, Precise went to market to find a partner that could help us through this transition, especially in the areas of capital investment and expertise on the acquisition side that would allow us to accelerate our growth. So in 2023, we found that partner in Bluestone Investment Partners. And over the last 2 years, with the help of Bluestone, we've continued to grow the business organically through contracts that we've competed for. But we've also added 3 companies into Precise as part of our M&A strategy. And Bluestone was instrumental in helping us find those companies, diligence those companies, and ultimately find and raise the capital that we needed to bring those companies into Precise. That was strategic for us in that it brought new capabilities, it brought new markets, and it brought increased profitability. And in the end, we were looking to grow the company, allow people to grow with the company, but also increase the enterprise value of the firm. So all this has been accomplished without sacrificing the very basic core values that made us successful. And I mentioned that earlier. And that was when I took the company over 2014, we stayed grounded on two very basic core values, and that was delight our customers and put people first. And we've never lost sight of that. Even to this day, if you were to talk to any executive in the firm, they would be able to cite those core values, and we live by those ethos to this day. So those are really the high level things that I felt allowed us to successfully make that transition.
Outstanding. You make it sound easy, but I know doing any portion of what you just said is a milestone. So I got to commend you for being able to do that and staying grounded. And at the end, it's great to hear that you are keeping the people first and that you were profitable. So outstanding there. You're also known for being a different kind of president. I heard a little bit about you, and I wish I could be there for one of your meetings. You're not only very hands-on, but you speak from the heart, and you speak from your military background, from being a Marine. And it was really amazing because some of your PR people were telling me, when we come to the meetings, we have to sometimes bring tissues. And I tell you, that really struck a chord with me. That says a lot about you. And I'd like to ask you, what drives that level of emotion, passion, and connection when you speak to your team?
Yeah, that's probably the greatest compliment as a leader that you could get, is that people are moved by and energized by the conversations we have as a leadership team. But my energy and passion really comes from my love and appreciation for my teammates, my love and appreciation for this company, and ultimately my love and appreciation for this country. I have been since 1989. I served as a United States Marine, but even prior to that, when I was growing up as a young kid, my mother knew it, my family knew it. I had always, my ultimate goal was to serve my country. And I've been a passionate leader ever since, in my early days in high school and beyond. And in the Marine Corps, they developed and enhanced. But I feel blessed to be part of such a special group that is so extremely talented. And every day I get to work with the best and brightest in support of the warfighter. And I've never lost sight of the fact that it's an absolute honor and privilege to do that. So when I'm up there, I'm sincere in what I'm saying. I have a sense of camaraderie and esprit de corps about this company. And it's an extended family to me. It's not just a job. We have a purpose in life, and I owe so much of who I am and what I have to Precise and my teammates within Precise, and my background as a United States Marine. So, I've for a long time, I've had a strong and passionate belief in everything that this great country stands for, and my patriotism has been in me since I was a kid from Ohio and went in the Corps. And I've been around this world 2 times over, and I've had the absolute privilege of serving this country. And I've never lost sight of that as I've grown this business to where it is today. And so when I talk to the teammates, I remind them of the honor and the privilege that we have as employees of this company, that we're not just doing a 9-to-5 job. What we are doing is even though we're not wearing the uniform, we are absolutely serving those that are forward deployed, absolutely providing weapon systems and support of weapon systems that are going to be part of defending this country. And so I try to speak from the heart, and I think people realize I'm passionate about what I do and what I believe in. I'm an emotional kind of guy, and I let them see that, because it's easy to get lost in the sauce of, this is a job and we're in this for, it's a business. But at the end of the day, I do not apologize for who I am. I'm a United States Marine. I'm very proud of that fact. And I feel like our employees sense that about me. And I want them to lead. I lead them in a direction, and they follow me not because I tell them to. They follow me because they want to, and that's real. And as you know, people can sense when people are fake, and I'm very confident
100%.
they know I'm not.
Absolutely, 100%. I will tell you this, that because you are sincere and genuine, that it's their honor and privilege to actually work with you. And I know from the way that they were speaking about you, I couldn't wait to do this interview. I mean, I'm just letting you know that it comes back 100%. So I know that's part of your success. And that's one of the main reasons why you are also recognized as a top veteran-friendly employer, is for all these reasons. I do have a couple more questions to go.
Yeah.
I'd love to still, talk with you.
Yeah.
Your team said that your grit and passion are contagious, and that after hearing you speak, you feel more committed than ever. What does this grit? I mean, I know you kind of mentioned where it came from and how you challenge or channel it to inspiring others around you. Can you touch on that a little bit more?
Yeah, as I said before, I think they follow me because they want to, not because I tell them to. And I spend lots of time explaining the why to our employees at every level within the organization. And I communicate with them the why behind my decisions so they don't have to wonder. I believe in collaboration of many minds, and because we have so many talented team members in this company, I encourage debate and questions at every level within the organization. And I think we learn more when we have diversity of backgrounds. If we were all United States Marines with 25 years of service to the country, we wouldn't be as strong as we are. And our employees know that at every level they can come to me with a suggestion, and they can sit in these rooms and raise their hands and ask questions without fear of some sort of retaliation, or even that's not a good question. It doesn't matter if you're a team lead in the company or you're a C-suite individual that's been with Precise for 20 years. If they have something to offer, I feel people know that their voice will be heard, and that matters. And when you can give people the why behind what you're doing and how you're trying to do it, they are absolutely excited to follow you down that path. And so they want to be part of something special. And I think they feel like we built something very different and very special here at Precise.
Absolutely. My last question here. So you've made it part of your vision to hire veterans and military spouses, and you've been quoted as saying, "Not all heroes wear uniforms." Can you share more about that and what it means to you, and why supporting veteran employment is such a priority at Precise Systems?
Yeah, I'm biased because I had the honor and privilege to serve this country, but I think it's a priority at every level in this organization that we give veterans consideration, special consideration, frankly, because I believe that people that had the courage to raise their right hand and take the oath to serve and defend this country that we live in, they're special. And it takes a special kind of person to do the things that they've done in service of their country. They protected the very freedom that we all have the privilege of enjoying every day. Why would we not make special considerations for them? It's the least we can do to show our appreciation. They possessed unique skills and in many ways experience that they've gained while serving our country that others just frankly won't have. And so these unique attributes and skills are the very thing that makes Precise employees different from most. The individuals that make up this company, they create the culture. And the culture is special here because of the employees. And I feel I try to cultivate that culture. And that's where the veterans come into play. They know when you're part of a bigger cause, you can walk into Precise and you still feel like you're part of a special mission, like you're part of, even though you're not in the military, you feel like you're part of something very special. And that's what we've created here. And I try to encourage that up and down at every level within the organization. And quite honestly, why we give special considerations to veterans here at Precise.
I want to thank you for your time, for your expertise, and for not only serving, but also what you do to give back to our veterans. And I can only see the future even getting better for you. And I can't wait for everybody to read and listen to Scott Pfister and what he's done with Precise Systems. And we'll keep you on the map. We'll keep watching you, and I look forward to it. And I hope one day I get the privilege of meeting you.
Well, thank you. It's an absolute honor to talk with you today, and I look forward to meeting you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
I
Take
wish you
care.
the best.